Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So I want to welcome you. This is our first quarter meeting for 2024. And I may wait right now. I can see who's on. We have Randy, myself, Diane, and Bruce Walker. And I'll check off any other people that get on. So I shared oh good, here comes Matt. I shared the minutes by email, and I don't know if we have any questions or comments on the minutes that were shared by email. If we don't, then we'll just have them approved as read. Hello, Matt. We have Bruce Walker is with us today. He's the new president of BTA as of January 1st. Okay, and we have Bart is getting on. Okay. Welcome, Bart. We're happy to have you. Happy to have you. And okay, so if we don't have any comments on the minutes, then we'll just go ahead and say they're approved as submitted by email. And on the funding committee, I do have a little bit, I don't know what I wrote on your version of the agenda, but the bank balance as of November, I received the TCEQ statement from Cindy. I don't have December yet, but for November, it's $42,730.32. So that's what we have in the TCEQ account. And then I went over everything really closely. And for each proposal, we get a little bit for data, and then we have some outstanding for the research projects, and then we have some money for ads. So for the data work, that's 7507. That should be correct in your agenda. For the researchers, it's 9418, and that's a little bit more than last time because I did not include the B project. And if you recall, Dr. Bennett had an addendum and he requested 1,000. So he has left like 1,500 for his B project. And I did communicate with him, and he's going to come in and do some research to finish that out. And so Matt, the hardest thing to spend is the transportation money. And that's most of what's left of that addendum. So I think there's 500 for him, but he may not be able to spend it, but he sure has provided good data. So even though the time is kind of extended, he's a great guy to work with. So what's available for research, and I have the wrong number on 3B, but the funds that are available, and you might want to write this down, is $20,569. So that is for new research, $20,569. Now, that's a little bit depressing. We'd love to have more in there, but we did get a phone call or an email. Diane, you received something. We haven't heard anything, but somebody was asking. You want to share what that was about the TCQ they had asked? Do you remember? It was a couple months ago. Can't hear you.
You're still muted.
Okay. Oh, well. Basic. I don't know she's still muted. I don't know. Let me see.
Sorry.
Okay.
There you go.
Mary Catherine, refresh my memory. I don't remember. My memory.
Somebody called and John responded, and or they called or emailed, and they wanted more information about our project because they had money and I think they were looking at 2 groups. So at least someone was looking at us, so that's positive. I don't know who it came from, but but we did send additional information. So I thought that was positive. I think it must have been about 3 months ago or so. It's been a while. And John responded. But anyway, so we did have a query. So we may get something, who knows? And I continue to do the quarterly reports as required. So everything's in order there. So at this time, that's what we have, $20,569 for new projects. So for science committee, we don't have Dale. That's too bad. Dale's usually really good about getting on. The leaches, I have written to them 2 or 3 times since the last meeting because they have not turned in an annual report and they didn't come in this summer. And they had trouble because they had a changeover and one of the people on the retired, but we need to see what's going on. So I'm trying to joggle their work here. I may have to hunt down the grant coordinator address in case the lead researcher has moved on. I don't know, because I've sent at least 2 emails to the email that we've had a conversation. Brown and Williams was Dr. Williams was who I spoke with. I even did a Zoom with her, but we haven't had anything from her this past year. So she was enthusiastic, but haven't heard from her. And the LaRoche tiger beetles, boy, he has taken off. He's doing a super job. I'm really excited about what he is submitting, and he's requested information for the final report. So that is, I'm sure we'll be getting that, and he'll have it all in good shape. He's working well with the Park Service and turning in his information like he's supposed to. We did have a really nice article come out. I'll scan it and send it to y'all. This is on his tiger beetle research, and Phoebe is also going to put it in the BTA bulletin, so you'll see. So anyway, we have, that's our big TOD success this year is the tiger beetles. And then, as I said, the bees, Dr. Bennett is going to continue working on that. And Randy's he's working on a proposal. So hopefully we'll get that really soon and be able to send it out. And so we'll keep our fingers crossed because we can't sit on this money. We need to spend the money. That's, and I know you've been working on fish parasites for years and years and years, and we don't have anything. So I'd be thrilled to have some of your work. So for new projects, we have 20,569. And I've been going through a lot of updating, trying to get things straight. And well, like the website, there's a lot that has to go on it. So one thing that I worked on, and Jeff Pittman helped, and I sent this to you. And this is the master list. It should be in one of the attachments. This is the master list of the different research groups that we've had. And Jeff Pittman added the what is it? The species, like crocodilia. He added that. That was how I had it organized. It's confusing. How are we going to organize it? How are we going to alphabetize it? What name are we going to go under? The common name. But anyway, so the website's not alphabetized, but that's new. So I wanted you to know that. And this right now is all of the researchers that we've had. And I believe I added David Ford, who participated last month, as a support person on freshwater mussels. Okay, so anyway, this is all the people we've had since our beginning. And kind of also in line with that is, and I don't know if I put it on there, but this was the proposal history. So I went through, I've had it for years, but it's totally updated. So this is all the money that we've received from TOD. Mona had it started. I've reviewed it, and then I updated it November 30th. And so in yellow, those are the three that has money remaining that we need to spend. So the bees is 1570. The leeches, we owe them 39.24, and then tiger beetles is 39.24. So anyway, this is a total updated list of all the TOD research. So that's a pretty good thing to have updated. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of the science committee. Okay, education and outreach, the Bear Science Cafe was just great. She was a wonderful presentation, good crowd, and good publicity. So it was highly successful. And
Wasn't that perfect timing though?
it was great. I was a little bit aggravated with channel 12. They get Big Thicket Association. They never get it right. I don't know, it's Big Thicket Natural. I mean, I don't know who they were calling us, but at one point I sat down and I gave them like a Big Thicket 101 on what, and I need to get it to them so that they understand the different entities, because I don't know, BTA was not credited, nor was the National Preserve. It was all jumbled up.
It was, we're a wildlife preserve, Big Thicket Wildlife Preserve. You must not know that.
So that was interesting. But anyway, it was very successful. And we may consider, or maybe BTA might consider a little something like a gas card or something like that for speakers. I know I offered.
I have that on when I'm talking at our board meeting Saturday. I have that on the agenda for my reports on membership committees, since we're co-hosting that with TOD, that it's a suggestion, and we can vote on that if that's what we need to do. Someone can make a motion and we can decide if we're going to provide a meal for the presenter in future.
I bought coffee for her husband. I asked if they needed anything, but you know, I don't know. That's just something that's a nice thing to do, especially when they come from a ways. And
well, wait a minute. I bought her a 6-pack.
Well, that's what I mean. We kind of,
I did not. Oh. I'm kidding.
Okay. But anyway.
We're not buying.
Yeah. But, you know, something like gas or whatever. But I do want to say, you know, like, I really enjoy hosting these TOD, and the membership committee kind of was pushing to do more of them because they feel like it's really successful for us to get our name out there. And I just want to thank you, Diane, because me trying to do it by myself is too big a burden, but it seems to be working pretty well between the two of us with, you know, making it happen. So anyway, so like one thing to think of the next one that's coming up, we have birds, and I believe it's February 5th. And I ended up buying a projector because that's something we have to think about. We need to have a projector. We've used Randy Beans in the past.
Yeah. And
the Bear lady, she had her own. And I recently bought one, but I've only turned it on twice. So I'm not really, I'll get better with it, but we need to make sure. Mine might be better as a backup, but that's a question we need to ask.
Don't they have a screen there?
They have a screen, and I always tell them ahead of time. I remind them about putting the screen up, and they do. So we don't have to worry about a screen. But we have a Big Thicket Science Cafe the 5th, and then our little Coots Public Library is going to have a preschool program with birds, and Phoebe Dishman is going to be our presenter. So we're real excited about that. That's gonna be sweet. And Nancy Angel, who's with the Sabine Nature's Master Naturalist, she's gonna be helping too. So anyway, it's kind of all ties in together. So that's pretty cool. And unrelated, but we're making a bird backpack for checkout at the library with all kind of bird activities. So that's kind of fun. It's, but it has bird books and maps and binoculars and things like that. Okay, Fear to Hope, that's a project that Jenny Knapp and I are in. I mentioned it last time, and it's a science research with Christopher Newport University in Newport News. And so there's 5 groups in Texas that are submitting research on the cedar trees. So that's kind of fun to be a part of. So that's ongoing. We did have in the bulletin, I did notice Penny Clark wrote a really nice article on David Lewis and his mushroom research. So I don't know if y'all saw that, but that was really good. And David provided me a couple of days ago his updated list of publications that need to be added to the website. He has quite a few new papers. And and he has one mushroom named after Geraldine Watson. So that's pretty cool. Okay, science conference. We've kind of tossed this around a bit. Last time, Scott Solomon said that Rice University is thinking about doing a symposium. I have received a calendar of events from the BTA, from the preserve, and they have a science symposium that they're trying to offer in the spring. And so I contacted Megan Urban and I said that we'd love to help in any way. And she and I think maybe it's Whitney are working on it. And I just told her we'd be happy to help, but I didn't get any feedback. It's like, okay, thank you, we'll let you know. But so right now I don't have any details on that. But then I started thinking the biggest thing that we can help with either of these programs is if we published a special edition of, in commemorate, this is big, if we published a special edition of this Southeastern Naturalists of scientific papers. And we've worked with researchers. We've been collecting scientific papers. I mean, publication is the big deal, for the researchers. So if we could do that, that would be really cool. So what I have done is I contacted the editor for Southeastern Naturalists, and I asked him what it would take for us to do that. And so I have this, and I'll send it by email that I typed up. I have that in the guidelines. But basically, what we'd be looking at for a publication is about $15,500, and that would get it to where it would be available online to Southeastern and Northeastern Naturalists on their journal's website, and also to all associated institutions who subscribe to the Bio1 database. And so I think this would be a cool thing to go forward with. And what I'm going to do is tomorrow, the Southeast Texas Nonprofit Corporation is having a grant writing workshop. Well, I don't need a grant writing workshop, but what they have is they're going to show how to use at the Miller Library, how to get on the if you're a member, you can get on the computer on the foundation directory with the password, and you can do grant searches. So I'm going to go tomorrow and learn how to access and get the password to do grant searches to see, because this would be a really good thing for us to do, is to provide scientific papers in honor of the 50th celebration. Now, I do know we have some money in the science conference account, but I would rather start with seeing if we can get some grant money, see what happens there. So I thought I'd share that with y'all. And do y'all have any thoughts on that?
I think in the past years, the Southwestern Naturalist was the journal that a couple times at least did the proceedings from the Big Thicket conference.
Southeastern and Northeastern Naturalists. Let's see what we have here. I think I got the address from.
I remember seeing some of those at the FRS, but they did publish special editions to go with the conferences a couple times.
Yeah, I have a few of them. Let's see. This is Southeastern Naturalist.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is Southeastern Naturalist. I think might be the most recent,
Okay.
2014. And this is 2004. This goes way back. Texas Journal of Science.
Yeah, that's another one that's possible. So there, I mean, I don't know if if it will be worthwhile comparing or what which journal you want to use, but I don't think it would.
Well, if you have grant money, that's the important thing, is if it's
Right.
funded. So,
but you're talking about actually having the conference and then publishing the talks that are given at the conference in this special
or maybe
edition.
not having it. Maybe we don't host a conference. Maybe we just collect the papers.
Well,
Maybe we collect the papers. We collect papers, and we're it could be papers from the Rice conference. It could be papers from whatever, from our group. It could be papers from, Big Thicket, their contacts. But we had Dr. Jerry Cook was the editor, but I think they say it has to be peer reviewed. And I was wondering if our committee could be the peer review committee, but I'm not sure what's involved in that, how time consuming something like that is. But anyway, that's what I thought would be a good way for us to, and it would promote our research, which is what we've done since 2007. So anyway, I'll send this information to you guys, and we can see if anything happens on that. But
What was the name of that publication you just mentioned?
pardon me? It
What
is
was a
Southeastern Naturalist. This
and
was
Randy, what publication did you reference?
Southwestern Naturalists, and that's just another journal from a different society. And Texas Academy of Science is the one that publishes Texas Journal of Science.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember the name of the Western something or another Gulf Coast that helped sponsor the science conferences that we had in the past.
Yeah, this was one of them. That was Southeastern Naturalist. That was 2014. That was it Nacogdoches, I think, maybe?
Yeah, we had it in Nacogdoches.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think this was it. So anyway, it's something to think about. Okay, data management. I did send, at the last meeting, I had sent an email out to past researchers to update publications. And I've been communicating with Jeff, but he responded to me that yes, he could help me. He knew Diane was on board, and let's see, that was December 4th, but then I sent him some more information on things that need to be updated, and I haven't heard since December 4th. So I thought maybe maybe the Christmas holidays. But so I've got a lot of edits, and I'll have to add David Lewis's papers and Ford's papers. And then there's just a lot of other little things that need to be updated, like the taxa tally that we updated in 22 is not, it's not updated. So there's a lot of little things that need to be added. So hopefully at the next meeting, I'll be able to report that Jeff has helped me clean this up. John.
For those that don't know Jeff, he runs a research program in Arkansas for, I think, the university out of Shreveport, and he lives on site, and so that's what he does for a living. So he ought to be a good resource.
Yeah, he's always helped in the past. I just kind of felt like I was overwhelming him a little bit. So, but I'm trying to get everything cleaned up. I'm trying to get the website updated, and in that, and this goes back, it's on my list and I haven't done it, but well, I have it here in new business. I'll get to it on the permit. Okay, so I'm trying to update the website. So number 6, the Learning Center. So we have some upcoming reservations: College Station, Nature Conservancy, Student Conservation Group. And I actually did a summary of 23 accomplishments, which I need to send out to you guys also. But we had overnight stays, 543 overnight stays at the FRS in 23. And we didn't feel like we had that many groups, but some of the groups stayed a longer amount of time. And Diane and her husband, I know I went once, but we've done a little bit of extra cleaning. The cleaning isn't quite getting done to standards, so that's kind of an ongoing issue. Diane did order some new towels and some hyperallergenic pillows. The shower nozzles were replaced and a toilet was repaired. And Diane, you have any comments on any of that?
We had some issues out there today. The power went out, so I started getting calls early this morning, and the generator did not kick on. So the Park Service went out and said the power wouldn't be restored until 3 o'clock today, which they're all out working at the park, so that won't affect them. I've worried a little bit about their food and why didn't the generator come on? And I did ask that question, why didn't the generator come on? But I haven't heard a response to that. But they are turning off the water at the Bramer house because that group, after they finish working in Village Creek today with their fish assemblage or whatever they're doing, they're going back to get their things from the Bramer house, and then they're leaving. This is their checkout day, and they could only come for one night because obviously Monday the weather was not good enough to go do research in Village Creek. So they didn't come until Tuesday, and they only spent one night. So they're going back this afternoon to get their things, but the water will already be off for the freeze coming next week, or Sunday night, I guess. It starts getting really cold again.
Well,
so we don't know about that. And
yeah,
you know what's weird? We did replace 2 shower curtains that needed to be replaced in the men's restroom. I guess I did that about a week ago. I think last week. So I think we're all kind of freshened up there. There is a weird issue going, and maybe one of you biologists can answer this question. But there's one shower in the women's restroom at the FRS, and it has this blue substance all over the floor. Okay. So I thought that our, cleaning person wasn't doing a great job. Well, that's not a debate there, but anyway, and we do have another cleaning person we're about to train the next time we clean after all these people leave that are there now, and the water gets turned back on. Then we'll go out there and show them what we expect, and we'll keep the previous one for backup, so that we're never with just one cleaning person again, but this blue substance, I can't explain it. So I worked really hard and I got it up and it looked pretty darn good. And then, we replaced all the shower heads. I thought, is there something in the shower head? Well, it's all dark blue again. And in the handicapped shower stall where the shower head is down where they can grab it, it's dripping blue out of the shower head. So what could that possibly be?
Do they winterize with something? They don't drain the pipes and put anything in to winterize the building or anything like that, do they?
This is a year-round problem, so I doubt that, but I can find out. But it's only one shower that does it. Now in the men's restroom, there's like a circle about that big in one of the showers, but in one of the women's, it is covered with this, and I can see it. The last one I was there a week ago, and I'm like, okay, I was thinking it would look great because I had scrubbed it and it was all clean. We put new shower heads in, I think a month ago. And then when I got there, I couldn't believe it. And I could see that blue stuff dripping out of the shower head. One
You
shower
saw it-
does it, no
You
other
saw
shower.
it dripping out, because what I saw was that the stain on the bottom of the shower. I mean, it took like up a third of the shower. It was this. It looked like
It's
somebody had.
worse.
It took like somebody took a cleaning product and had spilled
Yeah.
it and didn't bother to clean it. Didn't bother to clean it up.
It looks like that, but that's not what it is, because I worked real hard to get it
Yeah.
up. And I had it and I was so happy because it looks terrible. And then it's back worse than it was. And when I saw it dripping out of the shower head, the brand new shower head, I'm like, okay, is this old copper pipes that oxidized? Is that what's do? I don't know. Come on, biologists, what do y'all got?
Well, that would be my first guess, is that the copper's oxidizing or something like that. But the weird dripping thing, I don't know. Because if the pH is low, then you would have some oxidation with the copper. But to the point where it's goop is dripping,
It's
I don't
blue.
know.
Did you turn it on, see if you can flush it out of there, or if it just kept, did you turn on that handicap
No, I
faucet or
didn't.
whatever? Because it seems like if it's something like that, it must not be being used very much, or it'd get washed
Probably
out,
not.
I would think.
That
You know,
might
we
be
don't
good.
have,
That might be an idea, just to learn to turn it on while you're there and just leave it on the whole time you're there, just to see if that helps. That's an idea, because it probably hadn't been flushed at all, just whatever use it's had.
I don't know. It's just hard to understand. Why does one shower do it and not the sinks, the toilets, or anything else? Something is in those pipes on that particular shower. I
Well,
don't know.
I'm reading from Mr. Plummer here. So if your bathroom piping is made of copper, lead, or other metals, the bluish stains in your bathroom could just be the insides of your corroded pipes.
There you go.
Is that
See,
dangerous?
I knew.
Is that dangerous?
Well, it stops after that.
So often when that occurs is when your pH gets low. So one way to test it is to grab like a pH stick and to see if for some reason the pH is lower. We usually don't have to deal with that a lot around here. Well, I guess in parts of the Big Thicket, the pH of the water is lower. So, because that's where we get our pitcher plant bogs at.
Is it well
So-
water or what kind of water?
Pressure.
What
It's-
kind
Is
of
it
water?
like municipal water, or do they have a well at the FRS?
I think they have a septic system because I've seen the lids for that, but I
It might
don't
be
know.
city water. I think it might be city water.
Yeah, I think it's city water and they have a well.
From Saratoga City Water?
Right.
Yeah, they probably do have a well, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So we have a mystery here that we'll update you on again. Thank you for the wish list. I added the updated 2024 committee, and I moved John off and Bruce on for BTA president. I did take Michael Black off because he hasn't been to any of our TOD meetings, and I know he teaches and the timing doesn't work. But I also don't have his current email. He switched schools. So when I tried to
I
contact him,
think I have it. Do you want me to send it to you?
that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah,
So
I'll write it down. I'll send it to you.
and I'll ask him if he wants to be on or not be on. I mean, I'd like to have him be on because he takes great pictures and he's offered wonderful things in the past. And he has some wonderful pictures of tiny microscopic, little tiny things that would be good. But anyway, I think, so this is updated. Kathy Smith is still on, and I get emails from her. I did move, and I didn't get from Dale if he wanted it or not. I moved Dale also to the science subcommittee. And the reason I moved Dale up to that science committee is in case we're reviewing proposals, it might be good to have someone else that's not affiliated, that has to recuse themselves. And Dale is really good about being like sending me information on that he finds, like ticks, or he found David Ford, and he sends me that. So I thought, but I didn't hear from Dale if that would be okay to put him on that committee or not. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And then the last thing I have for business is the permit. And I have not looked. Andrew responded, and I have not looked at the Park Service, their end of the permit, but I think it's time for us to look at theirs and make sure what we have on our website, the two of them go together. I've always just said to the researcher, whatever the Park Service asks you to do. I can't really tell them what to do, so I haven't really gone beyond that. But Diane, you talked to Scott because he had an issue with his permit. It was a different kind of permit.
Yeah, he said it takes a long time to get that one, and that's why he had to cancel his trip. He didn't do it in time. That's what it ended up being. It was a timing issue. So apparently it takes a long time to get permission for that one. You have to go through different channels for whatever he wanted to research.
And
so he's aware of it, and he said he'll come back this year, but he'll do it more in advance to be prepared.
We kind of need to know what the different criteria are. I've just said whatever the Park Service. And Randy,
Yeah.
Let's see, Matt, you didn't have any problem getting your permit.
No.
And then Randy, I know that's what you're trying to find up front, what to do.
Yeah, I emailed Andrew, but I haven't heard back. It was just yesterday or something. He hasn't had very long, but I haven't heard back from him yet.
They're real short staff, I know, but and they have a lot going on. But anyway, I think we need to just get a little more knowledgeable on the permit and probably just look over what we have posted. And Randy, it might be good you going through what's on our website and just see how it works. Make sure everything looks kind of current. If there's anything we need to change on the TOD application. I think we've changed everything but it wouldn't hurt to have another set of eyes. And since you're working on that, that would be good.
Yeah.
But
I went into and got my Irma account going again and stuff, but I didn't really proceed because I was going to wait to hear from him first. But if I don't, I'll go ahead and fill out the application on Irma.
Yeah,
And
well,
maybe he'll get it that way.
Yeah, you can do that. And in the meantime, you could go ahead and do the report, the paper for us.
Yeah,
It's not dependent on the permit. You just have to get the permit. So you could go ahead and do your paperwork for us and we can read it and look it over and do, don't wait because you're waiting on the
Yeah,
park.
I won't. I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else to add?
Mary Catherine, here's what Dr. Solomon said about that permit issue. He said they didn't deny the request for permits, but they did inform me that this time we would need to get approval from the National Park Services Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee. That isn't necessarily a problem. We have approval from Rice's same committee, IACUC. But given that I only discovered this in late August and that we need to know for sure whether we would be able to visit by mid-September at the latest, I was concerned that there wouldn't be enough time to get the IACUC approval before our first trip to the field site. So they went to visit Cook's Branch Conservancy this year, and he'll try to get the permits in time for next year. So I guess for studying whatever critters he was going to study, you have to get permission from the, Services Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee.
Does anybody know what he was he was bringing a class, wasn't he?
What he would do in the past, and this goes back years, every year he would bring a class, and they would do like a mini, oh gosh, what do you call it? A mini, they just look for everything.
Like a
Like a mini
BioBlitz kind of thing?
BioBlitz, there we go. That's the word I was thinking of. A mini BioBlitz. So that's what he did with his class. So I assume that's what he was doing. Now, from what he does with the class, we've never received data from that. That's just something that he would do with his class. But if you look at he did receive funding before, and it was before TCEQ. So he had funding from a park partnership, which was different. So his work goes back a number of years. And it wasn't always, it was funded before. We had different funding pools before TCEQ. And that's just what we have right now. But okay, that's all I have, folks. Is there anything to add or? No? Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see you at the Science Cafe on February 5th. And
Is that I'm trying to, I saw something is warbler. Is that warbler migration?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And so that's all I have. We're still in there. We don't have much money, but hopefully this will be the year we'll get some more money coming in.
So this conference they're having in Houston, you said it's in the spring. Do we know?
It's not this
anymore?
year. It's not this year. It's
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was way out, but when you said
no,
the
the
spring, I was thinking
is,
this spring.
yeah, Rice is not this year, but the Park Service listed a science as one of their 50th activities. I received something that had a list. I've got it somewhere in this pile. But the Park Service listed a science symposium as one of their 50th activities.
Oh, that they will have at
That
the
they're going
visitor
to have,
center.
that the visitors they're going to have. And
Well, I'll see Megan in a few weeks. I'll ask her all about it.
yeah, just tell her we're just salivating to participate. Even if it's just a booth, an exhibit, we want to be a part of science. That's what we do. Or we could even have an open house at the FRS. That's something that would be a nice thing to do at some point.
Okay, I'll note that down.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, folks. That's it.
Thank
I
you.
like, is that a piano in the background, Randy?
It is.
Oh, nice. Who plays?
Nobody.
What?
We couldn't get any of those children to learn to play that
Oh.
piano.
Oh, wow. Well, I like it. Okay. Well, thank you, folks. Happy New
Thanks.
Year.
See you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.